decide who I should go with. Yeah, Rebecca, I do need help with math. What's that, Bonnie? You like magazines? Well, that's good, 'cause I'm gonna settle in and let my heartbeat slow down while I read from this June 1966 Esquire magazine. It says, in a time when everybody hates somebody, nobody hates the untouchables. And that's Joe Louis. Joe Louis in the middle there. The legend. The magazine for men. I'm gonna open up to some random pages. What's that, Barbara? You like random? Irene, you like random too? Here's an ad for Gant shirt makers. A lot of color in this ad. I honestly like blue myself. The 1960s. I've been wearing a lot of blue. A lot of wool. And then there's an ad for the electric Timex watch. I've got one of those. Marcia, your dad has one of those. Interesting. Let's see what other random pages we got here. This is for HealthNet socks. I've got a lot of HealthNet clothes. I wear them all the time for football practice. Underwear designed for the active age. It's a really good product too. It's really soft and stretches really well. The cotton does. I love HealthNet. I didn't even notice that was a picture of a guy in his whitey tighties there. That's pretty funny. Mercury Comet Indy 500 discovers Mercury Cyclone GT. Now that's a hot ride right there. Wouldn't you say, Tina? The official race car for Mercury Comet Cyclone GT right there. Performance Car of the Year, named Pace Car for Memorial Day 500. Try it, it won't bite. Sale. Sweet as a nut, high grade pipe tobacco. Little cartoon here of pilots that says, "No, really, I'm not kidding. There was a time when I knew what they were all for." 1960s. Technology's increasing at a fast rate. Those fellas have a lot of gadgets to learn, I bet. You said your dad was a pilot, Barbara. I like these really large magazines. After football practice, it helps my muscles. That's why I like to look through old magazines. The 1960s is a great time to be alive. Into the summer CPOs. shoes. Would you wear those? Bostonian Flexomox. Meet Bostonian Secret Lock Stitch Society. We've got 'em all. Admiral quality portable TVs. I don't have a lot of time for TV, but it's all the rage lately. Here's an ad for Kahlua liquor. I'll make sure we have some of that for you, Bonnie, after I get some help. This is for an osterizer. I make juice drinks out of this after practice sometimes. And milkshakes. Here's another shoe ad. Men's Old Main Trotters. I like the other pair better, but the stitching on these is pretty cool. Jack Nicklaus Golf Carrier. Sometimes I do some golfing after football practice too, but it was a two-a-day today and I'm pretty tired. All systems go. L'Oreal Lodorant fragrance. All systems were go. Ours too. And that must be the open canister there. There are parties, and then there are parties after 6. Why is it that people who get invited to the good parties always seem to have a little more imagination going for them? Things you probably could have thought of yourself if only you had thought of them. Like driving to Philadelphia to see a Broadway show before it gets there. Or sending her just one perfect rose instead of sending her a dozen. Or going to an ordinary party in a not so ordinary dinner jacket. You could have thought of that. Why didn't you? Formal wear advertisement. That's why I like these magazines. They increase my knowledge. I'm all about knowledge. Barbara knows that. Let's see what else I got here. This is Esquire magazine again. June 1961. I'm gonna go through this one a little bit faster. It says how to tell a celebrity. We got a liquor ad, Yorktown, and Omega wristwatch. Sometimes I bring these radios out. I listen to whatever's on. There's not much on, but there's always something good on. The Marlboro Slipover with Arnold Tricetate. That shirt there, it says 52% Arnell, a fabric, 48% cotton. That's pretty cool for Marlboro. Degron for the coolest, neatest, smartest summer of your life. He's looking pretty sharp. A dapper man. And VU Lighter, Foo Lighter by Scripto. The boys aren't supposed to smoke during football season, but boys will be boys. And it's the 1960s after all. The only lighter that lets you know when the fuel is low. I told you, the 1960s, everything's starting to get better. Technology's getting better by the day. And the clothes are getting better. Everything's getting better. Cricketer discovers Fortel. Another suit there. Truval shirts, crystal checks, certified for dad. I think my pops has one of those. This is his Esquire magazine. He probably got it from one of these. Beef Eater advertisement. Personality Picnic. This is for a radio station. Bonnie, you listen to this. CKLW Radio 80. Lots of different personalities. Just like on the football team. Oshkosh Casuals. More clothing. I'm gonna have to get some more clothing after reading this magazine. HealthNet, Oshkosh Casuals, Degron. All the best clothing of the 60s is advertised in here. Marple. Stay put socks. Socks are a big thing for me. Those look pretty nice, pretty slick. Marple, stay put socks. Little comic on the bottom here. The score was 10-10 again. That's as high as we can count. Just a little sketch. How to tell a celebrity. There are certain things about celebrities that make them different from other people. The most important identifying characteristic are these. A celebrity is someone who thinks only about those things that count. 1961. stops crying. I'm beginning to wonder, Conrad, whether we should get married after all. 1961. Comics. You could get a lot across with a comic. I love the sound of these pages. Bohemian Aqua Knits. For the beach bodies of the 60s. For the beach combers. Lots of color with this magazine and all the clothes advertised in it. Pipes. There's a solid left to the head and a right and another left. Pacific Mills Clothing Company. I'm gonna be buying so many 60s clothing after this items. Dacron, made of Dacron again. Jansen Sportswear. The whole team has this. Everybody's got probably one of each one of these. HealthNet, Jansen. Looking sharp on the golf course. The most male look on the beach. In crystal cool fabrics. Cone. McGregor. That's one of the best brands of the 60s, McGregor. Everybody here's got McGregor. Everybody in this school. Almost to the end of this one. Big fur jacket. My mom has a few of those. 1960s. You call this a revolution? This is a hat. I think some birds might find a nest in that one. 1960 style. After 6 sport jacket. When I go on dates here shortly after football season's done, or maybe during, I might have to get me an after 6 suit. White label, Dewar's, Scotch whiskey, ad on the back. This one's a little bit spicy. Tina, you may want to look away. Just kidding, I know Tina likes. She's all about true crime. Aren't you? squared. The Ohio Love Triangle. A Massachusetts murder riddle. 4 girls dismembered and buried by a homicidal butcher. Exclusive, the incredible 300-mile odyssey of Texas Pied Piper of Death. We got some of the waste fat reducers. Everyone's using these in the 60s. Along with those workout machines that vibrate with the straps that you put on and they just vibrate your skin. They're really good for the form. Look who's smiling now. LaSalle Extension University. This magazine will give you nightmares. The cover of this one. Let's see, a couple things in here I could show. We started our own anti-poverty program with this beat-up sofa, picked up for $5, sold for $300. Now that MUI taught us the secret, we'll never be poor or dependent again. Looks like they were teaching reselling. That's something my family's been doing since at least the 30s. Texas Pied Piper of Death was one of the stories. I probably already read this magazine after a football practice, but it's fun to go through them again while I'm deciding which tutor. Dent, with Trooper as his captive, told army of pursuing lawmen by radio. Hey, you back there, you guys try anything, and this cop has had it. Sounds like a standoff. A homemade bomb squared the Ohio Love Triangle. On the trail of the killer of Unaka Mountain. (1969) police officer. Did Brenda's watchdog know her slayer? Technology with scuba diving in the 1960s is getting really good. Murder was the final blunder in the tragedy of errors. It's nice just kind of randomly going through. Some kind of official detective, true detective offer. Can play along. The top magazines in the crime field every month is what it's talking about here. America's foremost crime reporters spotlight the fascinating behind-the-scenes details of the superlative detective work that brings lawbreakers to justice in society's never-ending war against crime. And for a drafting table. We're at the end of this one here. Little cartoon. I don't understand you, Ellen. The FBI wants me. The cops in Cleveland want me. The Alabama Parole Board wants me. How come you don't want me? Some tools advertised on the back. I'm finally about calming down from my football practice. Marsha, you're happy to hear that? Me too. Soon I'll be able to get tutored. Marlboro ad on the back of this. I gotta be careful with this one. Historic turning point. Martin Luther King. This one's fragile, so I'm just gonna open to a few random. The Kelvinator. The Kelvinator refrigerator. 1960s. 1965. Take a fun, crowded vacation in uncrowded Canada. And then Admiral TVs. I'll have to check the brand of TV that my pops bought at home. We only recently just got one. I'm at football practice too much anyways. 1 year of uninterrupted commercials. The Yellow Pages. Nice thing about the Yellow Pages is that you decide when, where, how long, and what ads to look at. That's true. Everybody's got the Yellow Page book, that's for sure. Car ahead. Some cool pictures. advertisement. 1969. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to choose who I'm gonna go with first for the tutor. But I'll show a couple more ads. Montclair charcoal tip cigarettes. And Zippo lighter. If any Zippo lighter ever fails to work, we'll fix it for free. Made of all metal. Gives you that nice sound. Everything's old-fashioned